Hey friends, when we think about search engine optimization for small business, by the way, I'm at the park, got my smoothie. I had to come out because I had a headache, wanted to get out, get some fresh air. I don't know if just staring at the screen, but I was finishing up the blog today. That's what kind of made me want to do this video. I mean, sometimes I get off where, I want to kind of want to talk about it rather than write about it actually. So much quicker to do a video and talk about it than sitting down and writing out a blog and stuff like that. But there's a reason behind it. Some people like to read and some people like to watch videos and so forth. But the angle I kind of took on the blog, the angle I kind of took on the topic of search engine optimization, SEO for small business, was I was kind of looking at the popularity today. One, I'm kind of close at heart for small businesses because, I'm an entrepreneur myself. I've been an entrepreneur really my whole life. Even in my mid-teens, I don't know if you know that much about me. I was a professional athlete in my mid-teens up to very early 20s, competed professionally in martial arts. And my family, my dad owned a pretty successful martial arts school, several of them. And then later on in his life, he started his own big rig trucking company. And then even with my life, I've kind of went off on different entrepreneur ventures, worked my way up, high with a financial company as helping them as far as opening up new account, new branches, been a consultant. So an entrepreneurship is on my blood. Building companies, building startups, mergers and acquisitions, business restructuring is in my blood. And it's really a superpower that I have. It just comes easy to me. I just see things when I'm around the environment. I can just kind of see weak links. I can kind of see what's working, what's not working. It's just a skill of mine that I have. We all have unique skills. But anyway, when we're thinking about small business, I kind of went off, what's popular today? And the biggest thing what's popular today is agencies. And especially the last 5 years. Agencies have kind of been around for a long time, but they've really have, their clients were always high ticket clients, meaning that, for you being a small business or a consumer or an entrepreneur, for you to hire an agency, back in the day, you just, they wouldn't even take you or look at you because maybe their lowest client might be, $100,000 per month client type of thing. So, they're just going after big brands. Then when you talk about big brands with these agencies, most of the time these big brands are not with an agency very long. Usually it's a very specific reason why a big brand might go to an agency temporarily. Maybe they're kind of in between hiring someone in-house. Maybe they fired someone, somebody quit, or whatever the reason, but they went to an agency to kind of fill in that gap until they hire somebody else, get somebody in that role. Another reason is that sometimes when you have very, very big projects, you might outsource to an agency for a specific reason. They're not taking control of everything, but you're using them for a specific purpose and specific reason. And on top of that, you're micromanaging them. Further, when you're a big company, go to an agency, the agency is usually going to bend over backwards for you. They're not going to try to play you a little bit because they might be dealing with somebody like me on the other end of the phone that kind of knows what I'm talking about. So that, especially they want that referral. If they do a great job for a huge brand, well, they want that referral. But other than that, then we kind of fast forward time a little bit. The last few years, last 4 or 5 years, agencies have gotten really popular just in the regular consumer and the small business arena, where a small business or a regular consumer, a regular entrepreneur just starting out, well, they can go hire a marketing agency and pay them $1,000, $1,500, maybe $2,000. That's kind of the going price right now, like in LA. It's around $1,500, $2,000 kind of average. It can be more money, of course, depending upon what you're doing. But that's just kind of getting popular. Then when I used to work for agencies, I kind of know kind of the inside secrets, if you want to say, what are they really doing? I mean, you have to understand an agency is a company itself. It's a company that's trying to scale its services. So, an agency, how they make money is by having more and more clients. So if you want to make more money, that means you have to bring on more clients. So, with that being said, you you can kind of see a lot of sin that can happen inside these agencies because when you talk about marketing, digital marketing, talk about SEO, these are very time-consuming tasks. This isn't something that you can get done in an hour and pretend you work 10 hours on it so you can charge a client for 10 hours. Take a sip here. So that's what's kind of like really going. That's what's really going on the last few years. Is just, it's a business tactic where they see a need. They know the regular consumer. They know that small business is being neglected with these huge agencies that won't even take a look at you. So they're coming inside. They're coming inside the market. This market. I have like a thing in my mouth. They're coming inside this market because they see the need, but the issue is when they're coming inside, the regular consumer small business, well, they don't have the money a big brand has to actually pay you to do the work, so they're cutting corners. Pretty much being said, they're cutting corners. But the question really comes down to SEO and small business. What should you do? What's good advice, what's bad advice, because advice is all over the place. I mean, you go on Google, search things, people giving you advice that don't even have experience. Don't even have an experience like in the niche they're talking about or whatever they're saying. They're just copying and pasting it. There's their opinion or whatnot. But there's a few things here. One, we have to look at, when you talk about SEO, digital marketing, I'm always a big fan of you have to do it yourself. Bottom line, you have to learn it yourself. All big entrepreneurs, all huge brands that whatever owner, started that brand, when you link them back, they did marketing themselves. They did SEO themselves. They learned it themselves. That's might not be what you want to hear, but that's the truth. They did it themselves. They put in the time. If they have to get up an hour earlier to kind of do, research and study and marketing and SEO, that's what they did. They made it happen. So the first thing is, I'm always going to be a fan of, you have to learn how to market and do SEO and organic marketing, which is SEO, yourself. You have to practice what you preach. You can't just, it's fine to think like a big brand, a big entrepreneur that you're making millions of dollars right now, and you think, well, they outsource. I should do it. Well, that's not really the correct answer, because when you look at that entrepreneur, when they were at your level or where your business is at, they did it themselves. They learned it themselves. Now the power to this is that when you do hire, when you do outsource down the road, you know more about it. It's easier to manage. It's easier to micromanage people or micromanage a company or an agency when you know what's going on yourself. So you kind of know. Now the second thing I would do is, when I worked myself up to it, I would hire in-house. So for me hiring anybody, I would always prefer hiring in-house first. Okay. Now if you might sit there and say, well, I don't have the money or the budget to hire full-time. Well, hire part-time. Makes sense? Start off small, hire part-time. If you hired somebody 5 hours a week, well, 5 hours a week is about 20 hours a month. There's a lot of people out there that just want a tiny part-time job. So, you can hire in-house part-time and have somebody consistently working with you, and they can help you out with that need. If it's 5 hours, 10 hours a week, or whatever it is, don't think so much, full-time. If you have to start off hiring someone part-time, then as more businesses come in, you transition to full-time. Those are the first two top things I'm going to do. I'm very rarely going to think about hiring an agency to do anything for me. That's just my personal opinion, because I've worked for agencies. I see what they do on the inside. it would just be a micromanaging headache for me. Let me put it that way. I mean, you're going to have to micromanage. You're going to have to be on top of them. And so, if you want that added stress to it, then, be my guest and hire an agency. Now, another thing, I like to say with that if you can't hire someone in-house, either part-time, but you're thinking about hiring an agency, well, then you have the money to hire someone in-house part-time. So, there's a lot of misconceptions going on with agencies. Like, agencies are more skilled, more people are working on your stuff. This is all false. Agencies, sometimes marketing in general, but agencies are notorious for hiring below market, meaning that they don't have the best salaries, so they're not attracting the best people. Now, their managers or their directors or VPs, they might be making the money. That's kind of where the money is, the bigger salaries. If you're the director or VP of the SEO department or digital marketing department or whatever. But usually that position is not working on your stuff inside the agency. They might tell you that, but that's not what's going on. They're giving your stuff to marketing coordinators, marketing specialists, SEO coordinators, SEO specialists, people that really, especially in LA, we got the helicopter going on here, especially in LA, that they're hiring people that just with 1 or 2 years of experience, and that's it. But yeah, they're telling you they have experts in their company, they have experts in their agency, and it just isn't true. I've been in agencies where they have people working in the digital marketing division, SEO division, and it's just a family member. They have no clue. They have no clue what's going on. But yet you're paying them $2,000 a month, and they're the ones working on your stuff. I mean, you don't have to believe me or anything, but that's what goes on. Now, the other thing is, like, they have more people working on your stuff inside the agency. That's true and false. Most of the time it's false, but the only reason you would have multiple people working on your stuff is if you're paying for a whole bunch of different services. You're paying the web team or the web division or IT team to start doing changes on your website. You're paying the SEO, you're paying the SEO division, you're paying for Google ads and email campaigns and stuff like that. But one thing you have to think about is when you have these different divisions working on your stuff at the same time, that those hours add up. So they're not working for free for you. So let me give you an example. If you're paying, and this is a real example, a company I used to work for, we had a package there that had several SEO packages, but one of the packages was $1,500 a month. And I'll use this example because it's easy math. The company charged in their contract, sometimes they wouldn't tell you, in their contract they charged $150 per hour. So when you hire a marketing company and you pay them $1,500 a month, that doesn't mean they're working hours and hours and hours and day and night on your stuff. Okay? They're charging you per hour. So this marketing company charged $150 an hour. You paid $1,500. Do the math. That's 10 hours. So they're only going to work on your stuff 10 hours per month, not 10 hours a week. You're not paying them $1,500 a week here. You're paying them $1,500 a month. So they're going to work for you 10 hours a month. Now, when you have multiple departments working on your stuff, well, they're adding up their hours. So if you're over here on the web team and the web team works on your stuff for 2 hours, and you're over here on the SEO, they might work on it for 2 hours. You're over here and the people looking at your blogs or posting blogs for you, email campaigns, they're over here for 2 hours. Yes, you have multiple people working on your stuff, but they're keeping track of your hours so the company can charge you and keep track of that 10 hours. So once you hit 10 hours, they're going to stop working on your stuff. That's the perfect scenario what goes on. The real scenario what goes on is they kind of treat it like an attorney. You pay a $1,500 a month retainer. I'm going to give you 10 hours of my time. The fly. I'm going to give you 10 hours of my time. And out of that 10 hours, in order for me to scale and work with many, many clients, work with 30, 40, 50 clients. I interviewed for one company that had 80 clients, by the way, and they didn't have a big team. So how I can scale is, well, I'm not really working on your stuff for 10 hours. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get it done as fast as possible. Some things are not just getting done. Sometimes SEO is neglected. Even if you hire someone to do your SEO, they don't do it. I've talked to many clients about this, that they come from bad experience with the marketing agencies, where they come to me and they're like, well, I don't know if that my SEO has been done or not. I paid them for it, but I don't know, because I don't know what I'm looking at. So I run an audit. I'll look at it and say, dude, they never did anything for you on the SEO side. So so some things are not just being done because you don't know what you're looking for. You don't know, and they just take advantage of it. So it's not your fault. It's their fault. So there's a lot of little things in there that goes on. That reason why I would kind of stay away from agencies, and just leave it alone. So it really comes back to my two things: is one, you have to learn it yourself. Two, when it comes time and you have the budget, you hire in-house, either part-time or full-time. Now, and this kind of comes down to the question of, well, what about, that's kind of easier said than done. It's hard nowadays. It's hard to find somebody that you trust. It's hard to find somebody that has the true experience and kind of guide you in the right direction. Now, I can guide you in the right direction. It just depends upon if you trust me. That's his bottom line. If you trust, I'm giving you the honest truth, and it can help guide you in my company. But other than that, my friends, I just wanted to share those things with you. This blog isn't so much about how to do search engine optimization for your small business, but more of really things to look out for. What's going on, popularity of today. That way, I can kind of guide you in the right direction, and stuff like that. Be able to help you out as much as I can. But anyway, below, I do have a couple master classes available in different genres. I got one in organic traffic. If you want to learn more about organic traffic, everything's free, so you can jump on the master class and learn more about organic traffic. I do have another master class on marketing agencies themselves, learning the secrets within inside these agencies. I have a master class on that. And I'm going to be developing more and more a couple more master classes. It just takes a little bit of time, that's all. But anyway, my friends, just want to share that with you. I'm going to start walking. I'm just sat down at the park. Just wanted to kind of talk to you and kind of give you kind of what I was thinking and all that jazz. But anyway, best of luck to you. Always reach out if you have a question, and I'll help you out as much as I can. Thank you.